It's you who will decide whether you will keep the medical rules and follow them or not. And if you don't, who gets hurt? It's the patient. I'm Dr. Joshua Kibera. I'm a pathologist and CEO of the Pathology Network. We're here at our Nairobi office. The Pathology Network was born out of the idea that coordination of care and coordination of diagnosis requires a software base, a common coordinator that can help to smoothen the workflow. So we have, at one end, you have patients, and through all the way to the other end, you have labs and pathologists. There needs to be a system that ensures that everyone has kept their commitment to whatever it is that they have decided to do. We ask the pathologist to commit to global, internationally recognized practicing standards, meaning reviewing slides and releasing test results within a set period of time, usually 48 hours. They also commit to practicing within the boundaries of international best practice. The same thing with labs. We ask our labs to commit to those ISO standards, to maintain those ISO standards, to get ISO accreditation, and to maintain that accreditation over time.
At the Pathology Network, I work in a department called Diagnostic and Stewardship Department, and my role is on standardization. We ensure documentation is up to place. The laboratory partners are trained on the documents, and they attribute to whatever is stated. The other thing that we do is that we ensure the pathologists have been distributed the work evenly, and then any feedback that we receive from the pathologist reaches the specific lab in particular.
So the TMGC is a governing council which gives an advisory role to the Pathology Network. So part of our role is to help with the onboarding of pathologists and of course to give guidance on disciplinary actions against pathologists, onboarding laboratory partners, and just helping the network when it comes to quality and timely delivery of reports. Then we also ensure that our pathologists within the network, they are comfortable and they work within the governing laws, not only of the network, but also of the country. So we ensure that they're well licensed and they undergo continuous medical education. Yes, so we have CMEs, we have case discussions, and we have one-on-one consults with our pathologists.
It's not a transaction, it's a service. It's a professional service. It's also service from the heart. It's a service of one human being to another. Basically, that's what we're doing with the Pathology Network in our governance system, is to help everyone in this chain, especially the pathologists, the labs, and even the clinicians, to understand what safety precautions, best practices, procedures, and processes are in place, helping them understand that and helping them to follow that.
We decided to go through the council and not do the traditional hiring of pathologists because we wanted someone who is non-biased, because sometimes when you do one-on-one, you're a bit more biased, especially with the pathology community being a very small community. So we wanted to have a peer review where these are our colleagues already. So we meet and discuss cases with them and see how they're able to sort out cases. And we also have a culture within the network of we want a team player, someone who can discuss cases with people, how they communicate with not only the clinicians, but also the lab technologists and how they relay messages. Then we also wanted to know how they are able to deal with difficult cases and how they'll be able to sign them out, consulting one another, because we are very keen on across-board consultations.
Sometimes you find an international standard, like an ISO standard, assumes that every lab will have sufficient pathologists. And so it's written in a way that assumes that. But in reality, most pathologists in Africa are shared amongst many labs, or they work in multiple places simply because they're a precious resource. There are very few people with that expertise. How do you share those somebody among many labs and still maintain the quality. We have written manuals for logistics, sample handling. We have a clinician manual. We have various processes that we've put in place so that it's a lot more customized to everyone who needs to know.
The clinicians who are the Pathology Network's clients are provided with quality guidelines, that is a clinician's handbook that helps them to refer whenever they need assistance, quality assistance. For instance, if they need to check on a fixative of a certain sample, they quickly go and check in. This can be physical or on software. Also, on their multidisciplinary teams discussion, the Pathology Network's partner pathologists join in to participate. And during those discussions, the pathologists are able to educate the clinicians or other clinical disciplines on the updated things that are in place. The other thing, we ensure that audits are done always or quarterly to ensure that we are consistent with what the labs are doing. When deviations occur from each lab, we practice the root cause analysis rule, whereby we go with 5 whys. Why did this happen? And from that will help or give us a solution to that. From that, we'll do a correction or rather corrective action, and then a preventive action later.
When a pathologist deviates from the recommended standards, we try and work with them and offering somehow some sort of mentorship where we involve senior pathologists and even the junior pathologists within the network. We also involve the clinicians as well as the patients who are concerned, who are dealing with the patient, and tell them about the issue that we are facing, and especially if it's going to affect the management of this patient.
Both an accurate diagnosis, failing to create and have an accurate diagnosis, that's also a diagnostic error, but also failing to communicate it on time is also a diagnostic error because it leads to the same thing, poor patient outcomes. So us in the Pathology Network, we do both. We ensure that through our governance system, we have the systems in place to make sure that the diagnosis is accurate every time. And 2, that the communication is timely every time.
My hope is that most of our pathologists within the continent, not only Kenya, will be able to join the Pathology Network, and that the TMGC will be a force to reckon with when it comes to licensing of pathologists.
Looking ahead, the Pathology Network seems to advance the quality of care in collaborative ways and also innovatively, by ensuring that the patient who is at the rural part of Kenya is able to get that quality that they require.
We add an additional layer of governance to what the regulator is able to provide. So that means we can easily partner with the regulator on that, in that aspect. The governance body that we have developed, created internally, which we call the TPN Medical Governance Council, will deepen its engagement with multiple pathologists. It will further flesh out all its standards and documents. We believe that it's going to become the de facto standard for private practice of pathologists in Africa, developed by African pathologists for the continent.